This is our Unit 1 team discussion. In the 2019 Higher Education Horizon Report, the facilitator and knowledge constructor ITSE standards are well covered, but technology implementation comes with many issues that have hindered the growth and uniformity of the programs. Therefore, the coverage of the computational thinker ITSE standard has been slower. The focus is on creating active student-centered learning experiences. Student relationship engagement systems and analytic technologies are being employed to create personalized learning experiences for students. Innovative technologies such as extended reality learning, mixed reality, artificial intelligence, and augmented reality are helping students explore the world without leaving the campus, encouraging relevant problem solving of real-world issues. Angela?
Alrighty, so the next report that we analyzed was the 2018 Higher Education Report. Some trends that we noticed were the advancing cultures of innovation and an increase in cross-institutional collaboration, physical learning environment design on campus, changing your campus structure to promote a more work-based collaborative design. Some major obstacles included a need to improve digital literacy and have authentic learning experience. This is something that is solvable. Challenges with more difficult solutions included advanced digital equity and adapting traditional organizational models to be more flexible to represent the workforce. So how are we going to implement teaching and learning strategies that result in a more workplace designed implementation that promotes a collaboration with the instructor? Things that need to be adopted are your analytical technologies, your artificial intelligence AI within 2 years to improve teaching and learning, and mixed reality with robotics will be more available within the universities within a 4 to 5 year basis. Our next report was the 2017 K-12 Horizon Report. Some trends that we noticed here were how schools can nurture the types of culture that can promote experimentation. One significant element that we noticed was that failure is an important part of the learning process. So really striving to let the students know that it's okay to fail because you're going to learn from these mistakes and grow as an individual. How to implement changes to remove barriers that limit the development of new ideas and allow students to develop their own ideas and have a more collaborative thinking approach. We want to focus on measuring learning. So that can include, like when I was in K-12, the TAKS test, which I believe they moved to the STAR now. Methods on tools that educators use to evaluate, measure, and document academic readiness, learning progress, skill acquisition, and other educational needs of the student, such as the STAR. There's really no more lectures. They want to move away from lectures and have a more student-centric classroom-based environment that will help with their future workplace environment. Some short-term trends, they really want to focus on computer coding skills. One statistic that they represented was by 2020, there will be 1.4 million computing jobs, but only 40,000 computer scientist students. They want to embed your coding in your K-12 curriculum. Another aspect that we saw is they want to move from STEM learning, which is just your science, technology, engineering, and math, and make that STEAM learning. So adding the A, which is emphasis on your arts. Solvable challenges include relationships with your broader community, active partnership with your local organizations, and having the learner experience what awaits them out of school. So giving them that opportunity to study something that they're going to be doing in the workforce. Some difficult challenges that we're faced with is rethinking role of teachers. Teachers are expected to be guides and mentors from now on, not your typical standing in front of the chalkboard, a lecture, and then testing, having them memorize, and then testing what they memorized, and then just forgetting about it. And that kind of goes into complex thinking as well. And then also time for adoption. They want to have robots within the classroom, virtual reality in the classroom, and artificial intelligence. So something when we were growing up was a smart board being introduced into the classroom. So that moved away from your typical chalkboard, and now you have the smart board, which included technology and more collaboration with the students and the teachers. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Abby.
Hi, guys. So the report that I'm going to talk about is the 2017 library edition. And basically, this one talks about important developments in technology for academic research libraries. Quickly, the 6 developments in technology include the following. Consumer technologies, which would include drones and robotics and any type of wearable technology. Enabling technologies such as flexible displays, mobile broadbands, next generation batteries, speech-to-speech translation, any type of virtual assistants, or wireless power. The next one would be internet technologies, which would include digital scholarship technologies, any type of library service platforms, blockchains, and syndication tools. The next one would be internet technologies, which would include library service platforms. I'm sorry, I repeated myself. The next one would be learning technologies such as adaptive learning technologies, micro learning technologies, mobile learning, and virtual and remote labs. The other one would be social media technologies, which would include online identity, crowdsourcing, virtual networks, and any type of social networks that we're using. And then, of course, the visualization technologies, which would include 3D printing, information visualization, mixed reality, and virtual reality. The second report that I'm going to cover is the 2017 Higher Education Report, the edition. This would include the option of unresolved challenges that are in higher education. That would include improving digital literacy, which is gaining skills to generate a deeper understanding of the digital environment. Integrated formal and informal learning, that would include live experiences such as social networks. The formal learning would, of course, be the learning that takes place in the classroom. The achievement gap, that is not, this is the one that's all approach. And it is not a feasible one because it overwhelms tuition costs and it doesn't meet the learning needs of all students. The managing knowledge excellence is it's an impediment. It also because staying organized and current is kind of hard because the drivers and devices they advance at such a fast rate, and it's hard to keep up with that. Rethinking the roles of educators. So teachers are expected to act as guides and facilitators when it comes to technology. For example, if they teach us how to upload videos and stuff like that. So they also need training for that. This last report that I have right here is the 2016 K through 12 edition. And this one talks about significant challenges impeding technology as well. But this is these are the 6 technologies that they're trying to adopt apparently, but there's some challenges that are keeping them from doing that. So it goes over 3, but in each 3 there has 2 of them. So it's the policy one, which creates policies that's for the development of more authentic learning experiences, and then creating policies that transition teachers to be 21st century teachers using technology. And then there's a leadership one, which is using advanced digital equity to effectively create leaders that can teach the technology. And then the leadership challenge that in which low-income students and other undeserved learner populations struggle to stay in school and graduate. And then lastly, we have practice, which is catering to each student by providing customized learning activities and support, and the adaptive platforms, which are viewed as personalized identities, and that can sometimes pose a problem for the students or the teachers. And that pretty much sums up my 2016 K through 12 edition. So.
Okay, and then we'll go and talk about the 2017 Technology Outlook for the Chinese higher education. So there was a lot of similarities in regards to the American higher education compared to the Chinese higher education. Some trends included increased use of blended learning designs, rise of STEAM learning, so the emphasis on the arts, more open education resources, redesigning your learning spaces in higher education, and then advancing cultures of innovation and the rise of coding as a literacy, so developing that more into education. Some of the challenges included blending formal and non-formal learning, so taking your standard lecture and moving into a more mentor collaboration approach with the student and teacher. Using big data in education and personalizing the learning. And then balancing connected and unconnected life and rethinking roles of your educators. To adopt in 1 year or less, mobile learning, and more open online classes. This is going on in kind of America right now, where we want to have more online classes. You have a lot of older adults stepping into the education, wanting to have a better education, but they work 40 to 50 hours a week. So having that availability of an open online class is something that's really crucial. And it looks like the Chinese higher education is taking more of an approach to adapt this. In 2 to 3 years, they want to have that virtual reality, and then 4 to 5 years, robotics and machine learning. And then I will go and pass it back to Ashley.
The 2017 NMC Technology Outlook for Nordic Schools focuses on improving technology implementation and the possible issues that could arise due to technological advancements. The policies and programs being put into place cover the facilitator and knowledge constructor ITSE standards well. However, the computational ITSE standard is growing slower. According to the report, technology adoption has been a slow process with many hindrances, but they continue to make yearly progress and are evolving with the current culture. Some program highlights are coding as literacy, robotics, gamification, and cloud computing. Students are being put in charge of their own learning with digital self-assessments and the InnoFactor Skilly tool, which allows students to analyze what they have learned and the quality of learning experiences. The 2016 NMC Museum Edition is concerned with improving experiences at museums and learning about what patrons are most interested in. It discusses enhancing the relevancy of museum content and personalizing experiences through technology. The facilitator and knowledge constructor ITSE standards are very strong, as the report focuses on giving people an immersive and personalized learning experience. The learning experiences can provoke learners to strive towards the computational thinker ITSE standard on their own, if not provide strategies to do so outside of providing a vast amount of knowledge through a captivating learning experience, such as immersive and participatory experiences, digital humanities technologies, vocation intelligence, virtual reality, and community-focused material with topics such as poverty, marriage equality, racism, and discrimination.
All right, and that's going to go ahead and conclude our Horizon reports.